you doing there, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Abhisi show. We got a quick little intro we're working on it, so I'm going to roll it right now and let us know what you think. Yes, there's no audio, it's just us, but hey, that's what we're working on. All right, guys, let us know what you think about that new intro right there. Appreciate it. Thoughts? And on that note, come on, how you doing today? Thank you for joining us this week.
Thank
Looks like
you.
you've been busy, so let's jump right on in.
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. Thank you for inviting for another episode. And hello, guys. We are doing great, and we have some very good news. And I'm really excited for this Monday because we are releasing two features along with some more bug fixes that we did last week. So we are releasing customer portal now. Fully customizable customer portal with your own white label, CNAME, and stuff. Also, we are releasing private knowledge base where you can create categories, private categories, and you can keep those updates private. And you can also the next update in the private knowledge base will be you can send those private knowledge base to your customers as an email. Um, and private knowledge base articles will be only accessed by users that has an access to Abhisi. So we are really excited. We have worked a lot in last 10 days. Finally, we are releasing something that has been awaiting from a long time. Also, we are adding. We have fixed few of the bugs. So before we were not allowing to change the primary customer. So you can edit them now. There was one request to add a single customer. So we are doing that as well, where you can add a single customers if you want to, apart from uploading all your customers together. So that is some small changes that we are doing in the feature list. So yeah, we are excited, and let's test it out next week and give us the feedback. We are improving it, and we can improve further as well. So yes, Bruce, that's something I think appreciable, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you guys have been hard at work for that customer portal for a bit, and so I'm
Yeah.
glad to see it actually, come to fruition after, what seems to be like it was time consuming. And then the other one, which was obviously faster, was asking in people requesting for the private knowledge bases.
True.
So love that, and I have to say that's awesome that you're releasing both at the same time. Is it possible that we could see maybe a demo or a visual of what a customer portal would look like or how to access it?
So I'll give you an overview. I'll share the details
Sure.
over the group, and I'll share the images over the group, and uh, Facebook page tomorrow, first thing in the morning, with the perfect UI, and that's the new UI that we have used. So customer portal will be customizable, same as you can do with knowledge base.
Right.
And you can change the colors and buttons and all of those things. Along with that, you can put your own CNAME. The same thing will be applicable for all the type of accounts, and also customers can go in there, create their tickets, track that. And we have also added the ticket numbers in auto reply, so you will be able to select in auto reply if you want to add a ticket number as a variable. So every time someone creates a ticket, that will be an auto reply sent with the ticket ID. That will make it easier to search and sort in coming days. So yeah, so that's the first release of customer portal. There are few more features that needs to be incorporated in coming weeks. Apart from ticket creation, we are also planning to give them reports, a single page report where they can see, for the enterprise company specifically, where they can see what kind of how many queries they have been generating and how many are solved in time, what are the SLAs if there are any, and those kind of reports. So that will be coming in next couple of weeks also. It will be simple reporting and stuff. So yeah, I think we will be covering almost everything a customer portal has. You can incorporate knowledge base or not. It's up to you. You can add it or you can remove it, and I think that's it. So the next step will be adding comments, and maybe comments on the articles that is requested by a lot of customers. And also like a community forum that is required in customer portal. That will be a next update, maybe 3 4 weeks after that.
So it looks like within 30 days, you guys will have pumped out more features that I've seen by anybody. We had
Yes.
Instagram comments, then we had customer portals, right? That we were
Yeah.
finalizing, and then ticketing IDs, so you can add the ID of a ticket number onto an existing support ticket, or when you start a thread, you can add it at the very beginning.
So it will
Um,
be automated ticket generation, ticket ID generation system. You don't have to add it. So it will be hashed, and it will be added to the subject as well as in the auto reply.
right.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Also, YouTube comments. We have started work on it, so I think it will be coming. I think in a week's time or so. Maybe we'll try to release it by next Friday if possible. If we get approved by Google, we'll do it, or else it may take another week. So
I was just going to mention that too because we also had hidden knowledge bases, which was announcement number 4 last week.
yes.
You had new knowledge base templates, which was number 5.
Yeah.
We're working on a little bit longer term, which was the back end tech refresh.
Yes.
And then number 7 was you'll also be able to schedule out video and audio support calls.
Correct.
And
Those
so
all
tech,
things. Those all things are coming in next month. So like video feature will be added as well, where you can schedule your calendar and everything. So that is something we are targeting by the end of March to be released, along with a few knowledge-based templates as well. Uh, we are targeting it. Not sure. I cannot commit it on the end of the March, but I will try.
and so then we'll also have, like you mentioned, YouTube comments
Yeah,
are
that
coming there
also.
too.
Yeah.
Um, Before I move on further, I've had this question up there for just a little bit. Will this integrate with Bot Baba?
We haven't explored Bot Baba so far. Uh, and to be honest, we are struggling with use cases of integration with uh, bot. What you say? Even we are planning to integrate with Bot Star, I suppose, but
Yeah.
the use cases are not uh, are not syncing because they already have a bot, and you can chat it from there. The only use case I can see is sending over the notification or something in Abhisi when someone a new customer is on there. Apart from that, I don't see, because they already have chat as well. They already have bot you can create yourself. So I don't know what to integrate. The only thing I can see is sending over notifications and syncing the systems, I suppose.
Well, it does make sense. I know you guys were planning on building one of your own, but
Yes.
does this also mean that we're not going to integrate with other third party solutions?
It doesn't mean that, but we are not finding a mid path, like a proper use case where, see, they already have a bot on their website. Once the bot is not available, they already have a chat, so that they can chat directly with a human. So why and where we can fit a bishi doesn't make a
Doesn't make
lot of,
sense.
yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense, because why you want to maintain two separate products then? The simple question is that. So the only thing what I can see is whenever there is a customer on the website and they start chatting with the bot, a notification can be sent in Obishi where the users can be intimated the new customer is on the website,
Yep.
and so on. So I don't think so any other use case. If you guys have any other use case that can be more relevant, please share with me and we can evaluate that.
Well, I'll put one out there, and
Yeah.
I'm not big on bots. I prefer the actual interaction. But one simple one is, let's say I'm outside of certain hours. It would be great if there was a bot, a conversational bot that helped answer basic tech support questions when they brought up a knowledge base. Let's say they asked a question and it was pertaining to a knowledge base, but they didn't look in the knowledge base. So the
Yeah.
bot can pull the article, or the bot can also schedule a time to talk with another support personnel when they're
Correct.
available, even if the support personnel is during off business hours. So a bot that does that in a conversational format that seems very organic does kind of make sense.
Yeah, but okay. So now again, the question comes to the same point. So, for example, if you are using Abishi for live chat, maybe for example, if you are using live chat, So if you are out of your office hours, do you want a bot to take over the conversation? I don't think that kind of integration might happen, because that's like too tight integration in one widget. We are expecting two products to work. Like, I'm not sure how it will work. Do you have any example that we can have a look, like how integration works with a bot or something, with a live chat, and then it might, make some more sense.
Got it. You need a bot that operates as a operator. You need a bot that operates as a user inside the Abhisi platform. That
Correct.
got it. That may be a little bit different. That
Yeah, that is difficult because
yeah.
we don't see that much in-depth integration to be happening with bot companies, because they have their closed environments, and that's the only scenario where I can see. So Abhishi chat is like a live chat. So if you are out of office hours, the bot star can take over. But how it can
Mhm.
happen in Abhishi widget? So that needs a very tight integration. So
Right.
not sure how to do that. And if you have any examples where a live chat is integrated with a bot star or something, we'll be happy to look into it.
Well, yeah, like well, continually has it to a degree where they have a bot service, but they attached and they did it from the opposite end. They came from the bot platform with attaching a chat. So the
Hmm.
chat can be done in real time in Slack, but the bot does majority of the work. Otherwise, the handoff is done from the bot to the uh, to the individual website visitor to the
True.
teammate. So it's not like in a BC, it's the opposite. In a BC would be the operator, and then when the operator is done, it would be handed off to a bot to take over during off hours. So it's the exact opposite approach, so to speak. So
Yeah, and
continually
also,
and BotStar, I think both would be one.
yeah, and there is another approach that can be taken is like whenever the bot can start the conversation, and when needed, one can jump in as a user. But if for that as well, we will need to, I don't know. So which interface you will be using for chatting? That is something that you have to decide, because I don't see maintaining two products for a chat is viable for any company.
And I
Uh,
totally agree with you, and that
yeah.
just makes sense. And I'm with you there. But I could see where people would like to have their own bot solution inside of BC. I mean, that's obviously highly requested, right?
Yes.
And
Correct.
having it the most basic, like imagine the help shelf type widget, right? That
Yeah.
we're both familiar with. And by the way, to those of you who don't know, a BC has an integration with Help Shelf. They work together, just FYI.
Yeah.
So for all of those of you who have purchased Help Shelf in the past, before BC launched on AppSumo, there was a native integration there on the chat aspect. So just
Correct.
be on the lookout for that. They work together. Anyways, so imagine people wanting to create a conversation, and then instead of searching in the knowledge base, which a lot of times they won't do, they could search inside the widget by having the bot do that, similar to how Help Shelf did it. So,
Yeah.
like a replacement for Help Shelf,
Like a
essentially.
replacement. Yes. Yeah. So that is something. If we have our own bot integrated, then there will be no issues. So uh, that can do a lot of things then. But yeah, that is something
Um,
we do aim.
I was going to say,
Yes.
do you have an idea when you guys may start development on that?
Not sure. So that's the question. Like, are we? So as we discussed last time, to take up the project that to change everything, convert our whole technology. Should we make that priority or not? So we will be deciding by this Monday. So from March, are we starting to change the technology and upgrading everything and change the UI together, or we want to continue with this technology and make the changes in the UI only? So that is a tough question we are facing, because with limited resources, we have to focus on only one or two big things. We cannot
Right.
focus on all the big things. So yeah, I'll update you all on Monday or Tuesday after the release of customer portal and private knowledge base.
Perfect. Yep, I totally understand on that. We had some more questions that came up. Ross Geography, thank you for joining us. By the way, I never asked you about how you came up with your last name of Geography, because I think obviously that's not really your last name. But anyways, okay. So he says, I don't have a strong feeling on this one way or another, but bot as a clearinghouse. In other words, as a way to clean up tickets. I was like, okay, I could see that. Or to raise an Abhisi ticket and assignment, which makes sense for if your operators are not working during that specific hour because they may be asleep, or let's say you're a one-person team and you need a bot to assist you because you didn't respond to that ticket within 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Something
Correct.
like that. Like if the bot or if the platform recognizes that one user is busy handling a support ticket, then the bot jumps in to handle every other, alternative ticket after that. That would be
So
helpful for companies that do, let's say, one person launches on AppSumo.
yeah, so that is something can be achieved. As I said, we can push notifications or create a ticket in Abhishi whenever a new customer has joined the chat, and later you can continue. If you collect an email in a bot, you can continue the chat over an email after that. So I
Right,
think that
right.
that's the only use case that I see where you can create a ticket and send notifications. That's it, I think. But if I think we can start with that, and maybe we can see further what we can do.
Makes sense. It makes sense. So question, is the ticketing gonna work with the mobile application? Or do we have to
Yeah,
wait for an update on the mobile app?
for the mobile apps, you will be able to reply to those tickets and everything for sure. But to access the customer portal over mobile, so you can use a customer portal it will be a responsive customer portal, so you can use it in a browser. When a customer wants to raise a ticket, they can go to the browser and create a ticket. They don't need a mobile app for that, but yes, you can manage all the tickets in mobile apps. Doesn't make any difference.
Perfect. So a customer can manage and maintain their own tickets, their own customer
Yes.
portal if they wanted to. And they don't
uh,
have to do that from a browser, or they don't have to do that from a computer desk or a desktop.
yeah,
They can do
they
that
can
on the
just
phone whenever.
yeah, they can go to the customer portal, raise a ticket, and forget about it.
And they can use their existing CNAME and
Yeah,
it'll be just a help desk that's attached to their CNAME, correct?
yeah, they can attach any CNAME they want to with the customer portal. They can keep knowledge base and customer portal separate as well. So that is also an add-on benefit you have. So if you want to keep two separate things, you can do that. I don't know the use case for it, but currently that's the scenario.
And so I was kind of like thinking the same thing. By the way, Ross sent us an update. Ross says exactly start and then with email and maybe think slow, showing some knowledge based articles based on, say, a drop down question. I think he's referring to the bot still, but
Yeah.
concentrate on the UI and then tech move first.
Thanks for the feedback. That's what we feel as well. So UI and the tech means a lot for a smoother system. So I think that is something we can definitely focus on.
There we go. And Ross, I'd love to hear, and as would Hamant, would love to hear from more from you regarding that approach a little bit further as well. Like to pick your brain. We're kind of doing this. Let me tell you guys something a little bit more long term. Part of the reason why we also wanted to push this as a white label solution is so eventually you guys would be able to have a network, right? A public network of support partners or support. I don't want to say resellers, but the idea is to have a partner network of a BC white label support groups. And so let's say you're in, I don't know, Ireland, hey, and I'm in the United States, but I have clients in UK that would rather, or I have clients that are over in Europe that would rather work with somebody closer. The idea would be like, hey, well, you need to work with this support company, right? But instead of exposing the name of BC, or instead of calling it like the BC network, because it might cause you to lose leads, I'm not in the habit of losing leads. You're not in the habit of losing leads. We're trying to prevent that, right? So the thought process is let's go ahead and provide you with a tool or a platform that allows you to, let's say, not lose leads in the process. I don't want you to lose revenue. I sure don't. And in the process, what you'll do is maybe do a handoff, or maybe you might get a referral from Hamant because or maybe the client wants to meet face to face in person, right? So that might be an issue too. The point being is that we did want to include your branding at the same time when it came to building out when it came to building out Abhisi longer term, which is why we were one of the few that was actually a big proponent of having a white label solution. And a lot of you guys know this back from when Hamont launched on Rebel Alliance back like a year and a half ago. So that's what kind of started it all, because we saw that I think that was one of Rebel Alliance's largest campaigns ever,
Yeah,
because we knew that there was demand in the market for a white label solution. So now that is coming full circle with the customer portal, with the custom domains, I have to say, bravo! I'm looking forward to it. Um, there we go. Ross gets it. He says interesting with regional partners. Property or relocation post COVID springs to mind, or biz territory expansion. Yep, exactly, exactly.
exactly. So,
And it's kind of similar. Have you seen with Microsoft partners too, based on certain countries? So same thing.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Amon.
so that's what the initial thought process what was before introducing white label solution. So what we were looking for direct partners, that can be listed on Abhisi, and we can share business together, and that was the initial concept. But when we launched, people were asking for white label solutions. So we brainstormed it, and I think we have reached a position where we can confidently say that we have 95 to 99% white label solution. But the future is something that we want partners in all territories and regions, and we want to go for a longer term as a build relations that can last up till Abhishek last. But to be honest, that was the initial idea when we started looking for partners in US, Canada. We have currently partners in South America. We have partners in Southeast Asia, but we were not able to reach out to them in bulk. But the white label solution helped us to do that. So it's a big start, and I think we have a lot of partners waiting for a new revamped product. So let's focus on that next quarter.
For sure. And we'll come up with maybe some sort of like sign up program for all of those of you who
Sure.
might be interested, right? That way we could self promote each other or co promote each other. So
True.
Ross, I'm glad that caught your or piqued your interest. Hamant, we should set up a meeting or a call with Ross when
Surely,
we
yeah,
get a chance. Yeah.
we'll love to, Ross.
Perfect. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is a lot of people don't know. Let's talk about the status of LinkedIn, because I know LinkedIn comments was also a question
LinkedIn
that came up.
comments. Yeah, the question that came up. So LinkedIn comments were not too straightforward. So to be honest, we have stopped development on that. But I think we will be releasing it with YouTube, or maybe a week later. We got stuck with something that was a bit tricky, so we thought let's focus on the things that we have in hand. So yeah, LinkedIn comments will be there, for sure. I have committed to it, so I will deliver it. It might take some more time, but it will be there.
Perfect. So I'll list that up. So we're thinking like in the next month or two.
Yeah, so
So
maybe
this is a
March.
little bit in continuation from last week, guys, right? So let me go through the list of announcements. If you can name another company that has gone this many updates within a 2 week period, let me know. I'll hold your beer, right? So let me do a quick recap on it. So number one, Instagram comments are live as of last week. Hence, you could see right here we got the little logo there.
Yeah.
Customer portals are finalized, so that rollout should be finalized by Monday. Some of you may have some early access over the weekend.
Yes.
Number three, ticketing IDs will be applied. That should be any day or now. Number four, we had knowledge bases. You have the option to have hidden knowledge bases.
Correct. So all is
Number five,
getting sorry. Yeah. So all is getting released on Monday.
also getting
So
released on Monday. Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Number five is knowledge base templates are being updated, and those are coming down the stretch too. Number
Yes.
six is more of a medium term. Back end refresh is coming. They've already started development on that, so it's changing to React 9, which means or Angular 9, which means things are going to be faster in terms of UI, and also development. Number seven, you'll soon be able to call and schedule your video and audio tech support calls through. Remember,
Yes.
Abhisi also has their white label video call chatting solution when it comes, or your video calling solution. So that way you could
Your
do
comments.
screen sharing, right? That you have to,
Correct.
share screens. Question, because I've seen it come up before on the screen sharing. Is it possible to take control of the other person's computer by
Not at the
asking
moment.
requests?
No,
Okay,
not at the moment. We don't. The solution and the solution that we have built this on doesn't have that solution of remote access. But we are looking into it. So the first thing that we'll be looking into it to supply recordings after the release of scheduling and creating meetings, video calls and all. And first thing that we will be releasing is recordings that you can manage, and after that we might think about having a remote access.
makes sense. Does that comes with Angular 9, or is that like a completely different backend needed for that?
It's completely different.
Okay,
It doesn't associate with Angular 9 or code update.
got it. With the existing video calling now, I've seen people also ask, can they interact with those video calls from a phone if they're not sitting at a desk?
uh yeah, they will be able to do that.
Okay, that's not going to be on this month's rollout, but that is the plans in the
That is
future.
definitely, so that is the plan, so that if you have scheduled calls, if your customer has scheduled calls, you can attend it from your mobile by going into Abhisi. You can start it and just join the meeting. That's it.
Perfect, perfect. Glad to hear that. Number 8, YouTube comments are coming. When were we thinking on
Yes.
that? Like within a month, 2 weeks?
um, 2 weeks most probably. So we are done with what kind of APIs we want, and all the research has been done. The major part is taking approvals from Google. Let's see how much time it takes.
Excellent. We already have Shopify. We already have Twilio,
Mm.
so it's already there, obviously. And then last one is LinkedIn.
Yeah,
LinkedIn comments are coming in a little bit down the stretch. So if you
yeah,
know another help desk platform that literally has as much as this, I think the only company that may come close that I know of might be Live Agent or Intercom, but I've never seen Intercom have a video chat solution built in. That's the idea, right? To make it like an all-in-one omni chat, omni channel solution.
yeah,
That way, you're not like Haman said. There's no point on managing multiple apps for your support needs.
yeah. So
So, yeah,
we tried the video solution at our end by creating a small app. The quality is good, the voice is good. uh, so it's working good. So I think you can even replace Zoom with it, because I don't think I will need Zoom after that. I'll be using my solution itself. So
well, I'll put it out there because a lot of companies like the fact that Zoom has a desktop client. Do you see
yeah,
that ever
that's
happening? Do you see like a video solution happening with the BC that's a desktop client also?
no, nothing planned, to be honest. We haven't thought on that ground. Currently, it will be web based only, but yeah, desktop client is something that makes it much smoother. That's what we have understood, and maybe we can take up later in the year, but not at the moment. We have no plans on that.
Let me run down some last few questions that we have coming up here.
Yeah.
Are the features live or not? Some of them, yes. Some of them will be coming on Monday. So, private knowledge
Yes.
base rollout will be coming on Monday. Ticket
Absolutely.
IDs Monday,
Yes. 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 Ticket IDs will be Monday. Customer portal will be Monday.
and
So
private knowledge base is Monday.
yes, so these
There
three
you go.
features are releasing on Monday. After that, there will be a release of YouTube comments,
Okay.
and after that, we will be releasing maybe video solution first,
Hmm.
and maybe an integration with bot as we discussed today. Let's see if it goes quickly. We can just do it in couple of days and release it. Let's see how it works. So
Makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah.
Ross, hold your comment. I'm going to get to that in just a sec because I was thinking about that too. Just FYI, just hold that real quick. I'm going to run down the rest of the comments first. Okay. Next question. How real quick, how soon will WhatsApp be integrated?
We are in a lot of dark with that. I will really appreciate if a community can help us to get an WhatsApp API access. We love to integrate it. We love to have business accounts associated with Abhisi, because that is something I also use as a business owner. So I also want those tickets to be coming into Abhisi, and it will make my life easier.
Right.
So I can even provide support. Support. We can provide support on WhatsApp even. But to be honest, we are not able to get those APIs accessed. We are not getting approved, or maybe I don't know. We have applied maybe a year ago, I suppose, but nothing has come up. There are a lot of tools that are coming out with WhatsApp integration. So I think we need to, dig in deeper to get a hold of that, I suppose. So
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
Makes sense. Okay, so moving on down. So someone liked the scheduling of like support calls, video or audio. Great, totally
yeah,
fine. Here's I like this question because it's going to pertain to me. It's also going to pertain to a lot of enterprise customers in the future. Wonderful. Can it be coming with Outlook calendar? Now, technically, I'm going to say yes if that when you do some sort of scheduling, it's attached to an ICS file that
yeah,
has the name of the participants involved, the time, the date, as
correct.
well as the link pertaining to the meeting, right? So, in a way, technically, the moment that you say, yes, I approve, that ICS event, which is like a calendar entry, gets
Hmm.
placed inside, and it doesn't matter at that point which calendar. It doesn't matter if it's a Google Meet calendar, doesn't matter if it's an Microsoft Office calendar, or excuse me, Outlook calendar. Technically, that could work, or even if you're on a Mac, technically it could apply to your Mac calendar if you're using Apple Mail, right? An ICS file is universal. So I'm going to
Correct.
preempt that slightly and say generically, like you've seen with other platforms that do scheduling and they provide ICS files. So yes, technically it would work with Outlook. But go ahead and expand on that a little bit more, Hama.
Yeah, so to make it work better, what we need to do is we need to sync Google. We need to sync Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, all at Abhisi. So whenever a customer will be scheduling
Mhm.
those, so you can have a setting there where you can select where you want to push the scheduled meetings to, just for reminders or maybe whatever. Uh, so you can add your Google Calendar access or an Outlook calendar. It will be pushed straight away. It is not coming with this from the very first phase, but that is something we already know, and we are gonna work on that.
And you're right. The two-way or the sync calendar makes sense if you need the client to know what's your availability, right? Because
Correct.
obviously you don't want the client to schedule something when you already have an existing meeting. So that's where the
Correct.
two-way benefit comes in. That doesn't necessarily have to come out on this launch. I was just saying, just an ICS allows you to save it in regardless of what calendar
What
platform
calendar
that
it
you're using,
is?
right?
Correct.
But the
Correct.
two-way sync takes it a step further. Are you available? And letting the client know, okay, I know that Bruce or I know Hamant has a half-hour window for my call between meetings. Great, I'm going to schedule it right there. That makes total sense. I love that. I would love to have that.
Yeah.
Hamant, you
So
know that
that
we do. You know that me and Mr. Beck we do tech support. We would love to
yeah.
have that type of scheduling feature. Oh my gosh, heck yes.
So we are gonna give an inbuilt scheduling feature as well, and we will be syncing that with your Outlook and Google Calendar. So you will be able to create slots of 30 minutes, 1 hour, uh, and the whole calendar will be populated with that. You can also manage which days you want to be available and not. So this will be on the settings part from admin panel of Abishi that you can create. So this is the idea that we are gonna do. Like you can create minutes, how many minutes of meeting, how many slots, what are and it will depend on all your own business hours. So if you have selected business hours of 12 hours, so the slots will be divided accordingly. So that is
So,
something.
and I'm glad you went there because I'm going to ask if you attach a certain amount of minutes. Does that mean you're going to have SLAs, and the SLAs are going to be like, okay, this client gets 300 minutes of video support per month. Okay, and then once they've
Correct.
hit all 300, you get notified or the client gets notified.
No, that is not planned at at the moment. But yeah, but if you have scheduled a call of 30 minutes, it will get, you know, it will end at 30 minutes surely. So you can decide like you want to spend 30 minutes on a support call, or if it's a sales call, you can spend 1 hour on that. It
Right.
depends on you.
Right. That's a good 2.0 rollout is the two-way sync. So I listed that
Yeah,
right there.
true.
All right. Interesting. We have a lot of comments. Let me go ahead and move on down. Ross, I wanted to get to this. So, and then the desktop client, then you start to you start remote access if that's where you want to go, or perhaps with more sales. So, yes, for two ways, right? One, it helps push the branding further if you're, let's say you're a generic customer that bought one, two, three, four codes, right? Let's say you didn't buy white label or you didn't activate it, right? The idea then is you could have a BC desktop client, so it helps promote the BC brand.
Hmm.
And then B, the desktop client does allow for remote access. We're both familiar with that. We've seen Zoom do it and Teams do it.
Correct.
I mean, even Teams has that where the
Correct.
desktop client allows you to support. So maybe that's a limitation on the browser where Google doesn't allow remote support through a browser, and you need a desktop
True.
client. Okay, fine. But if you do end up going the route of a desktop client and you are a white label agency, maybe then that also provides us with an opportunity if we want to say, hey guys, do you want to have your own branded desktop client and offer that as an upsell? If that's
True.
something that you guys might be interested in, me and Hamant have alluded to that before previously in the past. Let us know. Do branded mobile applications make sense? Is that something that you guys have are serious about? A branded desktop applications, is that something that you guys would be interested in? I know I would be. I'd love to have my name, either like Bruce support. Obviously, I would go for Beck support first. Hi Gary, I know you're probably watching. But the idea would be like, have a branded solution that's powered by a local regional reseller or local support partner that's like part of the a BC network. We'll come up with an official title and name for it, but yeah, something like that. Let us know what you guys think on that. That's a little bit more medium term and long term, but why not have your own branded support tools, right? It just kind of makes sense. It'll help you out with your investment that you put into a BC a little bit further.
Correct.
Um, Moving on down to the next one. Wow, all these great features being released. Yeah, and I noticed that too. That it's all happening. Like a good portion of it is going to be happening this month, and then with the next month. But you also know some of the longer term um, development that's going on, which is something that I appreciate. That's something that you guys know that we were heavy doing with Plug and Paid. That type of weekly transparency. Gotta say, I love that. I know a lot of you guys do too. I'm like one of you, and I like this, right? The fact that we know that the development on Angular 9 is happening, so that way the back end will look better and it will be faster as you navigate through it, and then the updates will come quicker because it is on Angular 9. That's the type of stuff that I geek out on. I love hearing that. And everyone's like, "What the heck is Angular 9?" Okay, but the thought process is I love to hear that it's already being worked on and implemented and researched or developed. So I appreciate that, guys.
Thanks, Bruce.
Sure. Let's see. Moving on down to the next one. Andrew. Hey, Amon. I missed you. Heavy breathing. Hey, Andrew. Hey, when
Same
you say
here,
heavy
bro.
breathing, is that you wheezing when you're like, he says, hey, it's me. I can see you. We see you
Yeah,
too. We
we
see
see
you
you,
too.
brother.
Yeah.
Love you, bro.
Hope you're doing good. Rosemarie says Abhisi has a Zapier app inside, but she can't find Abhisi inside Zapier. Um, do you guys have? And I've seen this happen before, where you may have a beta connection with um with Zapier. So if you search inside Zapier, you don't find a BC. You have to find like a direct
Link
what do you
to it.
call it? Like a direct link from a BC in order to access the Zapier page.
So what has happened is in Zapier, you need at least 15 or 20 connections created with your app, and then it will be automatically available in the App Store. Uh, I think we didn't do it, so we thought that customers will be integrating more and more. So uh, I think it should be available now. We'll check it upon that, and we'll update you in on Monday or Tuesday on that. That is something that is already approved, so that is it should be listed on marketplace, but I think it needs 10-15 connections to get listed on the marketplace. So please connect your Zapier so that it can be listed.
There you go. Rosemary, I have to say, I like the appearance of your avatar, how professional it looks with a white background. I know my
Yeah,
background's a little busy, but I have to say I appreciate the time that you took to make your photo look very professional. So bravo.
true.
Facebook user John Doe or Mary Jane says that's cool. So FYI, Mr. John Doe or Jane Doe, the reason why we can't see you and give you a direct shout out is because you've not given StreamYard the approval for us to, say hello and thank you for joining us. So for all of you out there, if you haven't joined, so it's if you haven't given StreamYard approval, I won't be able to give you a shout out by name. So it's streamyard.com/Facebook. Please do that now and we can go ahead and say hello to you directly. Ross says we miss you too, Andrew. Yeah, like the whole community does. It's not the same without Andrew in there. We know he's
Yeah,
had a slight adjustment or pivot with his new platform. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, but Andrew has taken over the SaaS platform for. Oh God, do you remember the name of it?
which one?
Anyone else? Let me know. What was the name of the platform that Andrew has taken over from the previous founder of? It was Boost Links, and then Boost Links sold it on to another founder. Um, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Andrew's been doing a lot of work with like consistent updates every week or two. And a lot of guys don't necessarily know this. Right, Sherris, thank you. Let me put that up on screen too. A lot of you, and I was just made aware of this last week. So Andrew knows how to do like coding himself. So it was just interesting to see that he's working on the back end, and I was like, oh, holy crap! And so a lot of the updates are coming. I don't know how much is him, but when he's telling me like, "Oh, I'm coding," I was like, "Oh, okay, perfect." That's where you see a lot of the updates are coming. Is actually Andrew getting his hands dirty. So I have to say, bravo to you, sir. Bravo,
Bravo, bravo, Andrew. We're proud of
getting
you.
his hands dirty. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's had a lot of interesting updates. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. What if there was like a Sharist integration with Abhisi, so that way you could have even more C names because you may want to have links that are tracked through the tag on platform. So, anyways, I'm just trying to brainstorm an integration, a baby integration. So yeah. Good question, Ross. Let me bring that up. Ross says on StreamYard, do you need to give it permission per each video stream or just once per group per page? As far as I know, it's for you, the individual user, for your profile once. That's it. It may have a permission that lasts 6 months before you have to give StreamYard permission again for your face and name to pop up, or maybe it happens once a year. So I hope that answers it. Let's see what else. Yep. Guys, we're gonna end it here on these last few questions. Rosemary says thank you. You're very welcome.
thank
Ross,
you.
don't worry about it. No one's gonna get mad at you for typing it up. And Andrew, you're very welcome and glad to hear that. That's his goal. Perfect.
Awesome.
All right, guys. On that note, everyone, be safe, wash your hands, keep social distancing in mind. Tune in to watch us next week, same time, same bat channel, Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, and we'll see you guys all next week. Cool.
Cool. Thank you. Thank